Unilever acquired Alberto Culver for $2.7 billion. Now, it received thumbs up from all quarters, but some analysts are actually asking, why did Unilever acquire Alberto Culver when they actually said that they want to increase the share of revenue from emerging markets? Alberto Culver's revenue, 75% of it, come from mature markets. So, what's the reason behind it? Well, there are several reasons behind it. There are quite a few benefits that Unilever expects to derive from this acquisition. One is that it increases Unilever's exposure to the hair care market, which also happens to be Unilever's biggest portfolio. So basically, Unilever only had one brand or one big brand called Sunsilk, which was more in the mass range, very basic. Now, the hair care market is intensifying in competition with companies like L'Oreal, Procter & Gamble, launching shampoos with additional benefits. So Unilever came under a bit of a pressure and they felt they had to up their hair care portfolio. So about 2 years ago, they acquired TG, which is a salon hair care brand. So they kind of diversified a little bit. But TG is still a salon hair care brand. They needed something for the mainstream market. So Alberto Culver owns Tresemme and Nexus, which are professional hair care brands. But they're slightly different because they are sold in mainstream market and they come in big packages and they're relatively cheaper in comparison to other salon hair care brands. So during the economic downturn, when consumers have become very value conscious and they're looking for good value for money, Nexus and Tresemme mainly, performed very well in America. Unilever also has a big operation in Latin America, and Latin American consumers have a penchant for value for money. So you can understand that something like Tresemme or Nexus will perform well in Latin American market. Unilever has been trying to tap into the hair care market in America. They have launched Sunsilk, they have tied in Madonna to represent their brand. It didn't do as well as it has expected it to do. So Tresemme and Nexus have performed very well in America, and with the acquisition of this brand, they can actually very well tap into America's hair care market and they will receive a major boost in it. So to summarize it all, the brand has potential in new markets, especially Latin America, and with this brand, they can also enter America's hair care market. However, this is not the only reason. It's not just for hair care that they have acquired Alberto Culver, or the benefit does not end in hair care. Alberto Culver has recently acquired a mass skincare brand called Simple, and Simple can be placed in the natural organic bracket. So Simple is mostly based in the UK, but it does have some global operation. But more importantly, Simple is the kind of brand which has immense global potential. So Unilever can actually use this brand to market in Latin America, even in Asia Pacific, because its natural positioning will be quite appealing for consumers globally, and due to its mass range, it can be marketed in emerging markets without the loss of brand value. So skincare is also another reason why Unilever acquired Alberto Culver. Another reason is also deodorant. Although it's a smaller part of Alberto Culver's total operation, deodorant is part of the reason. Unilever is actually coming under greater market pressure in the deodorant category because of the economic downturn and companies looking to expand in emerging markets. They have been trying to focus more and more on deodorants. So you see Nivea has launched 2 or 3 different deodorant products. L'Oreal has stressed that deodorant is one of its key categories. So with these big players tapping into the deodorant market, no doubt Unilever is coming under great pressure. So by acquiring another brand of deodorant, it is actually securing its position in the market. And this complements Unilever's previous acquisition of Sara Lee's personal care brand, which also includes deodorant. Well, when it comes to price, Unilever paid $3.7 billion. It's an enormous amount. But if you ask me if they paid too much, I will say no, because Unilever stands to benefit immensely from this acquisition. Not only is it developing more market share in mature markets, which still is about 60% of the global beauty and personal care market, but also it is acquiring brands with immense global potential. And I'm sure there were other players in the market who were looking at Alberto Culver, and they would have also been happy to get the opportunity to incorporate Alberto Culver into their portfolio. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was a big competition going on behind the scenes. So the fact that Unilever has been able to acquire such a good deal and stand to benefit from it so much, that I would say it is a price worth paying for. The acquisition of Alberto Culver by Unilever, I'm sure, is going to create a stir in the industry. So other companies like L'Oreal and Procter & Gamble are going to wake up and more proactively look for potential acquisition targets. What comes to mind is Beiersdorf, which may come out as a potential target for both Procter & Gamble and L'Oreal. Beiersdorf is in skincare mostly, and its Nivea is a globally well-known brand. It has global operations. So for companies like Procter & Gamble and L'Oreal, not only will they be able to acquire a very credible and well-known brand such as Nivea, but also they can expand globally or increase their market share globally. It's very rare that you find a company which has a credible brand and a sprawling global operation. At a time when companies are looking to diversify their portfolio, include more and more emerging countries into their operation, a company like Beiersdorf is just ideal. It's not just Beiersdorf that may be a potential target, which is important, but what's more important is what comes next. How is the industry going to react to Unilever suddenly waking up and becoming so proactive? So in the next probably few months or 1 year, it'll be quite interesting to see how the story unfolds and how other key players are reacting to Unilever's moves and what they would do to secure their position in the market or what they would do to increase their market share.